Hello, I'm Lally Fraser. I'm here today to talk about the very small subject of finding clarity, purpose and passion. And I'm here to talk a little bit about my journey to become Managing Director of Polka Dot Elephant, my PR agency. So, number one, my advice would be get experience. I think it's a brilliant thing that the millennial generation is doing, that they're starting startups, they're doing their own thing, but get experience first. I was working in a PR agency for years before I set up on my own, and I worked at a newspaper as well. I see so many friends and so many people in my peer group who fail after their first year just because they didn't have the grounding and the foundations of working within a company. There is so much to learn. There's so many good people to learn from, so get experience and just build your knowledge basis. Surround yourself with people that know what they're talking about so that when you set out to do what you want to do, you know what you're doing. Get uncomfortable, which might not sound very nice, but I'd say it's probably the most important thing that I've had to do. So just get to really know who you are, what you don't like about yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, so that when you're in a room with just yourself, which I am a lot of the time working on my own, I actually really enjoy my own company and I know what I need to do to get out of a tricky situation. So many people go and make decisions with their head or with their heart, and my suggestion would be to try and link those things together so that when you're making a decision, you just feel really confident that you're doing the right thing. Especially if you're setting out on your own, it's very important just to be really happy with who you are, get rid of any insecurities that might hinder you, just so when you walk in a room and you're meeting new people, whether it's a client or new punters, just to know that you're the best person that you can be. So get uncomfortable to get better. Number three, I would say go with your gut, which leads quite nicely on from the previous point. And as you get to know yourself better, making decisions becomes easier because you feel confident when you do them. That being said, if you make a bad decision, don't see failure as a bad thing. Failure can very often lead to unlocking something else and being able to make a better decision out of it. I have taken on things that I probably shouldn't have done, and I came out the other end thinking, okay, how can I not do that again, or what can I do to make sure that experience is better next time? And it's a learning process. You know, every day new things come up and you've got to make those decisions. But I think if you get to know yourself really well, go with your gut, it's a pretty good place to start. Find your niche. I know it sounds really obvious, but how can you be passionate about something unless you absolutely love it? And that can take time. You know, some people are lucky enough to have their passion from day one, and it took me a little while to know exactly what I wanted to do. But just be really passionate about what you're working on, because ultimately you want every day to be enjoyable. Find your niche, really love what you do, and be happier because of it. So my final fifth point in finding clarity, passion and purpose would be to keep moving. And what I mean by that is just keep your mind open, keep speaking to people, keep surrounding people that challenge your ideas, because ultimately it's good to be prepared to change your mind, and it might lead to something much more interesting, much more transient for you in the next stage in your career. So surround yourself with like-minded people, but also surround yourself with people that are going to ask you why you're doing that, because ultimately it'll make you sure about it too. So good luck. For more hints and tips, don't forget to go to the C&C website, and don't forget to subscribe and just make some good decisions.